Martha, good morning to you. We're at a Marco Rubio event that will occur in the lunch hour here at the Intercontinental Hotel in Buckhead, just outside of Atlanta. You know, this Republican race taking on a tone that is deeply disturbing to the Republican establishment. And it's not just the schoolyard taunts being thrown around about big ears, small hands, sweating, and pants sweating. It's the hard lines that are developing between the Rubio camp, now seen as the establishment's choice, and the Trump camp, which has the support of establishment figures like Chris Christie and Jeff Sessions. It ratcheted up over the weekend when Trump appeared to not distance himself from former KKK leader David Duke's support. Here's what Trump said about that this morning.
I disavowed David Duke, and I disavowed him the day before at a major news conference, which is surprising because he was at the major news conference. CNN was at the major news conference, and they heard me very easily disavow David Duke. Now I go and I sit down again. I have a lousy earpiece that is provided by them, and frankly, he talked about groups. He also talked about groups, and I have no problem with disavowing groups, but I'd at least like to know who they are.
Trump claiming there that he didn't quite hear the question correctly, but it's not likely to stop Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and John Kasich from continuing their criticism of Trump over that, because Super Tuesday is going to be a very big one for all of those campaigns, Martha.
Right, it sure is, and that's tomorrow, of course. So I think it's safe to say, John, that not many people thought that the Republican race was going to look quite like this at this point.
You know, Martha, almost anyone who wasn't a Trump supporter thought that Donald would have flamed out long before now. That includes Marco Rubio, who you heard earlier on, insists that Trump is a con man. That's his new line of attack against him. At a weekend event in Kennesaw, Georgia, I asked Rubio about that. Rubio said Trump has made it further than he ever imagined he could. Listen.
I admit that I'm the underdog, and I like that role, and I'm looking forward to playing that role here. I've been in that role my whole life, including my whole career in politics. And I would just say one thing about that. I thought most of us didn't think it would get to this point either, but unfortunately he's been a better con artist than we thought he was.
You know, the Republican establishment is looking to Rubio as the savior because many people believe if Donald Trump becomes the nominee, Martha, that the Republican Party will absolutely rip itself apart end to end. But then again, the Republican establishment has been wrong about pretty much everything they've said about Donald Trump so far, so we'll see.
Very
Martha?
true. John, thank you.